Welcome in, Argo Nation. It is time for another UWF football show. I'm Will Kennedy. We got Coach Kaleb Nobles with us. We're coming to you at the close of the regular season, ready for playoffs. We got a lot to get into on this episode, Coach. We'll break down the regular season finale against Valdosta State, overtime game. We'll get into the next game, which will be the postseason. Playoffs are right around the corner here. In fact, next Saturday, right here, Penn Airfield, right behind us. We'll talk about the opponent and all that. And also wanted to give a shout out to the end of the season ceremony and the awards you gave out. So hopefully you remember who got what, because we'll talk about that absolutely as we go through. But let's start with this. I mean, what a football game. Unbelievable finish to the regular season. We talked about it leading up to the game. You knew it would be with Valdosta. We played some wild ones with them. In fact, the last time they were here, it came down to the end of the regulation. This one went to overtime. You guys really came out, got off to a really good start, jump on top early, get a touchdown, get a second touchdown. You're up 13-0 pretty early in this football game. That's when the weirdness started. Blocked extra points, scooped and scored, and that kind of felt like it just changed the tone of the game a little bit.
Yeah, and it's something that we talked about. We got to try to do what we can to take as much life out of them as possible, and that was a moment where I thought we might be able to do that, to go up 14-0 and then go get a stop. But unfortunately, we gave them a little bit of life, momentum, and to Coach Craig's credit, they're a scrappy bunch, right? And they stay. If you give them a chance to stay around, they're going to stay around and play well versus you. And they did that, and they capitalized on those mistakes that we made.
Even after that extra point return for the 2 points, you forced them to punt the football. Mm-hmm. Then the ball security became a little bit of an issue. You had two drives kind of back-to-back in an area where you had forced fumbles, and they came up with them, one leading directly to a touchdown on a short field.
Yeah, both of them, they scored points off both our fumbles, and that's what the teams do when you give them enough opportunities. They're going to find ways to score points, and they're a very well-coached offensive team. So, unfortunately, we gave them some short fields to go score, and they capitalized on our mistakes.
I thought one guy, I want to shout him out early because Javon Swinton's really been playing well lately. He had a touchdown from Argos earlier to help you get into that lead early in the football game. You guys fall behind 16-13, but then able to battle back going to the half. Really, that second quarter started to heat up a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of back and forth, and they made some plays. We made some plays. We had a great 2-minute drive right before half. Our guys executed a lot of really good things in the second quarter and really gave us the chance to get ahead. Unfortunately, we didn't pull away as much as I would have liked to, and then let them hang around a little bit.
Yeah, return the favor to them. You guys forced a fumble kind of late in that second quarter, and TJ gets it in from 10 yards out. Then that drive you mentioned right before the half had a 30-yarder from Brogan Wober in there. Really, though, you go to the locker room up 30-23, and it's those little margins, right? You had that extra point that was blocked. You had a field goal hit the upright. There were some points that were left out.
Yeah, there definitely were. There's a lot of points left out. We talked about that in our team meeting today, and just too many things that we did not do well enough, and to credit Valdosta, they did a lot of capitalizing on our mistakes. And that's what good teams do when you're playing teams on this playoff stretch over home.
Jamison Holcomb, their quarterback, I thought played really well. I mean, at one point, I think both quarterbacks, completion percentage-wise, it didn't look great, but they were both making plays when they needed to.
Yeah, I thought he played his best game of the year, and I think he's done nothing but play, get better every game since their bye week, and they've given him a lot of opportunities to kind of get to a rhythm. They've called very, very good offensive games the last couple of weeks, and so he did a good job of executing and capitalizing, and that's what good quarterbacks do down the stretch.
They were able to get the touchdown, first touchdown of the second half, tie it up at 30. You get one to Tyree to retake the lead. Then they tie it up at 37. I think they had 182 yards of offense in the third quarter alone.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, they played well, and they made some good adjustments at halftime that gave themselves a chance to score some points pretty quickly, and so things that we got to clean up and correct, and there's a lot of good teaching moments off this tape from yesterday.
You would think, it can't keep at this pace. When it's 37-37, it's a true shootout at this point.
It was.
The fourth quarter, I mean, there's just a lot going on in there. You get an interception. That you guys, throw an interception, it leads to them fumbling the football, back and forth, and finally they're able to take the lead with about 7.5 minutes left, 44-37. Kind of what's going on at that point as far as the way you're approaching the game?
Yeah, I was trying to make a decision and just say, all right, let's go. We want to go try and score fast. We want to take our time, and felt like we had played a lot of plays on both sides of the ball, so both teams are probably getting tired. So try to just run as much clock off as we could and be efficient. But as we both know, we got to go score, and we had opportunities to do that. Didn't do that until the very last drive of the game.
Talk about resiliency all season long, right? And then you were able to not come up with a first down on a call that we all kind of felt like he got the first down, Jay Sharp, but they called it just a couple inches short.
Right.
Able to get the football back though, and then go down just like at the end of the first half. Nice drive, and what a beautiful throw at the end of the game from Marcus to Tyree on a 34-yarder. Put that ball right in the basket.
He did, and that's something that they've prepped all the way really bad last spring ball. fall camp. They've done a good job executing those type of throws, and we don't get a lot of one-on-one opportunities because people like to play zone on top of us because our wide receivers have done that, when we get a lot of man coverage. So it's a great opportunity to do it. Great call by coaches, and Marcus did a great job of kind of recognize that, get himself to a good protection to do it. So excited that we did that, got an opportunity to go score, and we did it and had to do it when we needed the most.
You wanted to go for 2, it looked like there, but unfortunately, celebration after the touchdown, it just kind of not enough clock left, had to take a penalty.
Yeah, I had to, I didn't have any timeouts left because we had used them on some other. I tried to stop at the clock for a 2-minute drill. So, just some miscommunication on one thing that will get cleared up and give ourselves a chance to go do that in a moment.
Like that thought, though. You feel like you try to win the game from 2 yards out?
Yeah, I felt like, we played a lot of plays and felt like, hey, let's just go in this thing and try and go into it and win it. And you know what? It's part of my nature. I like going for it on fourth down. We got to go forward if we need to, and I have all confidence in our guys to do it. We didn't have the opportunity to do it, though.
91 plays on offense in the game.
That's a lot.
I think they had 71. You had a lot more than football there. It goes to overtime. And I know that's not we get the ball first. They choose to go on defense first, which is the way I would roll with it too. But just not the possession you wanted. And we talked about this on the broadcast. When the first play, that first down play is a negative play, well, that sets it up and it makes it really tough.
Yeah, they had a good defensive call that we had hit a formation a lot during the game, and something we all would love to have back. And then second down, try to get a hard count, and we thought they jumped off sides and snapped it. And then so just not 2 good plays to start that overtime drive.
So they end up kicking a field goal, 37-yard. They got a real good kicker, by the way.
They do.
That kid's got a great leg, and they win 47-44, 9-1 as the season finishes. Weird stuff in this game, not just the blocked extra point. I mean, Brogan's last extra point to tie it was a little bit of a squib. We had a field goal opportunity in overtime. It looked like it got tipped through the middle there. And then I don't think I've ever seen that one call down there on the touchdown pass, the covered receiver on the line.
Oh, yeah.
That just doesn't get called very often. It's one of those.
Yeah, it was a legal touch, and we were covering the guy up from the outside wide receiver.
Bottom line is, though, 9-1, and it's not where you wanted to be with going into that last week. But the good news is it sets you up pretty nicely. Right. So we found out now, and it's kind of like you and I were just saying, we were watching the selection show. It's nice to kind of sit and watch the show knowing you're in rather than kind of, fingers crossed, and let's see what happens. So you're part of that committee for that. Albany State ends up being the number 1 seed in the region. The Argos are the number 2 seed, which sets you up nicely to play at least 2 games at home. And the first one will be a team that you know well, North Greenville. We went up there and played in Tigerville. They get to come down here and play. Really makes it easier, right? It's a team you've played, so you've got that film. Plus, they've played Valdosta. They've played a bunch of other teams that are common opponents.
Yeah, it's somebody that we're familiar with, and they're a very well-coached bunch. Their quarterback is the most experienced guy we've probably played all year. The last couple of years, he's a very good player, somebody that we're going to have to play very well against. And we got to play better on all 3 facets of the game than we did back in September. It feels like an eternity ago. Probably a whole different team than both teams are. They're playing really well and then have earned themselves a chance to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat UNC Pembroke to win Conference Carolinas. Win that automatic qualifier. So that go back to September, 25-17 was the final up there in Tigerville. They were driving down the field at the end, a couple nice defensive plays to finish that one off. But again, back to that resiliency theme. I mean, that was a game where you're going on the road and you got a target on your back because of the rankings and the history of that rivalry. And I think, it felt like you're going to get their best shot. They'll come down here looking to do that again.
They will. They certainly will. They'll be ready to play. They'll be ready to go against us. It's always a good game. Almost always comes down to a last possession thing. So we know we got to prepare well. We got to prepare at a high level. We've watched a lot of their film all year, and so we got to be ready to play.
How much has your team changed? What have been the biggest changes since that game?
Yeah, I think we're running the ball better, right, than we were back then. I think we had 91 yards rushing that game. Didn't really run it well, but we also threw the ball well, something we felt like we could do during that game. And they gave us some things that we hadn't seen, a lot of things that we had seen. And then our defense, so we moved some guys around, playing at different positions. And so we're a different team, but a lot of it's still the same makeup, and I'm sure they feel the same way. I haven't really dug into too much of their film yet, just as we just found out. But, there'll be some games we'll be able to watch and get some good information from.
I know their quarterback, Dylan Ramirez, great player, as Coach mentioned, but he is probably not looking forward to seeing that front four and those linebackers from the Argos. He took some hits up in Tigerville that day. He's a tough kid. We've been watching him for several years now. So that'll be the game, North Greenville. You can kind of look at the website, the NCAA. You want to see the rest of the region. But I did write it down. So you've also got in Wingate, Benedict are both in. Wingate's the 4 seed. We're the 2 seed with North Greenville. Albany State and Valdosta, Albany State, the number 1 seed. So they'll get the Blazers as kind of the 8th seed, even though they don't put a number there. And then should you win the first game, Newberry, Kentucky State, the winner of that one, Newberry being the 3 seed, good football team. It's a tough region. Always is.
It always is. This is like the SEC of Division II, and then the Gulf South prepares you for that, even though there's only 4 of us, but every one of those games is tough. And so we feel like we're prepared and are excited about an opportunity to go play in the playoffs.
Playoff week Saturday, I think all the games 1 o'clock.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, for the game. So right here on Penn Air Field, 1 o'clock NCAA Division II playoff game. Before we get into the awards, let me ask you, obviously you come out of a game like Valdosta, and through the last several weeks, there's always little things you're looking to clean up. What are the main focuses in a week like this that you're like, we've got to really look at these things and fix these things?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of them. We got to, capitalize and execute better on offense. We get some opportunities from short field, some sudden change opportunities. We didn't execute as much as we'd like to yesterday. And then we just got to tackle a little bit better, right? Slow down some guys that Valdosta had a chance to go make some big plays with if you don't tackle them, and they did that late in this game went on. So we just got to improve on those things. The fundamentals really it sounds cliche, but I mean, those are the little bitty things that you harp on from day one in fall camp that is going to show up week in and week out in the games.
Let's talk a little bit about the awards. Look, we'll kind of start at the top because we're coming off the game. Marcus Stokes had a 339-yard game. Right. 5 touchdowns against Valdosta. This, for me as a broadcaster, those are his stats. TJ Lane ran for 100 yards, got a touchdown in there. You had 2 wide receivers at 100 yards, Corey and Tyree in the game. Unusual to not win that football game.
Very.
But just to say, Marcus almost 3,000 yards on the year, 30 touchdowns. I mean, his numbers popped, and he got a couple awards at the end of the season.
He did. He was, do a lot of awards and a lot of things voted by the team, and he did a great job of earning those rights. Won team MVP, won the offensive MVP. And he's done a lot of work to be ready to prepare for himself to play at a high level, and he's played at a high level so far. Also got another award that's a big one that you gave there, the Man in the Mirror Award. That's right.
And, I mean, voted on by his teammates. And a testament, I heard you say, to what he's gone through, and people know the story. We don't have to get into the story here, but also his development from his, redshirt year to a redshirt freshman year when he played for the first time. And I think the speed of the game, he told me, the speed of the game was much faster than I thought. Right. There was a lot of adjustment last year, but he's really looked like the guy that you thought he would be. Yeah, he's done a great job of just preparation and getting himself ready to play, and he's really supremely focused on just doing what he has to do, right? Trusting the guys around him. We obviously have a lot of playmakers around him that can go get the football, but he's playing at a high level because of preparation so far. Defensively on the other side, love this guy, Kobe Clinton, leading tackler. He gets your defensive MVP, I think 72 tackles. He's been in the backfield time and time again. I think more so, we've talked about it before, is just he has those eye-catching, eye-popping hits on the football field. He does. He had one yesterday that forced a fumble and gave us a short field, and he's done that all year. He's consistent. He does what he's supposed to do. He plays at a high level. He plays with a lot of energy. Our guys feed off of that, and he's somebody who has earned the right to be recognized as a defensive MVP. And a lot of guys on the defense have probably gone. It was not a clear-cut vote, I can tell you that. It was a tight race, but I think he's earned that right to do it. And Kobe's another guy with a great story, backstory. He's overcome a lot of things to get to where he is today. Special teams, probably not a surprise. I mean, one of the better punters in the country, although that his first one yesterday, a little bit of a shank, but no, Mike Shine's been great. He's been phenomenal. He is what we thought he was going to be coming in here. He's a great player, somebody who we think has next level potential when he's done playing college football, and he's a joy to coach. He really. He's not perfect, right, like nobody else is, but he gives you a lot of clarity and peace when we do have to send him out there. I don't like sending him out there at all, just maybe extra points when he's holding, but he does a great job of flipping the field position for us. Yeah, we didn't see much of him. We did not. Had 2 points yesterday. Regular season finale. Want to get in those other awards because those really are the guys that are unsung heroes, and you don't hear their names and on the broadcast, but you give out awards to guys who are on. I love it. They don't call it scout team. Stay ready squad. So tell us who won those awards. Yeah, so our defensive stay ready player service in the offense is Greg Lott, freshman defensive end from Armwood High School down in Tampa. He is a phenomenal player. He's got a motor that just doesn't stop. He does what he's supposed to do. He's very coachable. He gives us fits at times in practice. And then on the flip side, offensive stay ready player giving the defense a look is the quarterback, John Nicholas. A really good player, local kid from West Florida High School that does a great job executing, doing what he's supposed to do. He really learns what the other quarterback is doing and kind of tries to recreate his mannerisms. And then special teams stay ready is Alan Ciani, which is a great story. A walk-on tryout guy that has done his job. He's been close to traveling a couple times this year. He's a team favorite. Players love him. I think he's TikTok famous is what they've told me. So I obviously don't have TikTok, but
he does what he's supposed to do. He exhausts himself every practice. He does a great job of giving our guys a look, and he's somebody that's very deserving of that award.
Seniors were honored to senior day.
That's right.
Before the game with Valdosta, but also at the ceremony. And there's several of those stories about guys who just wanted to come here, who showed up at either tryouts
That's
or
right.
walk-ons, and they earned their place in the team and have become mainstays. Whether they're playing every down on Saturdays or they're out there at practice giving their all. And I said at the thing, it takes everybody, right? It takes the whole, and shout out to your strength and conditioning staff and your training, athletic training staff, but also your equipment and everybody that does it. And we read off a list of names. It's tremendous. So.
It is. You hear people talk about raising a family and say it takes a village. It's like that with 120, college-age men. It's going to take a very large village to do it. And very thankful for everybody that helps us out at UWF football, and anybody who has any hand in our program. We're very appreciative of them.
Well, the good thing is you don't linger too long on wins. You don't linger too long on losses.
That's right.
When you get to play the next week. If it's the last game of the season,
That's right.
It's a little bit different. But we will have North Greenville coming in here, 1 o'clock kick on Saturday, Penn Air Field right behind us. And I know it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, but we'll go ahead and throw it out there now. We're talking a lot about this through the week. Students, if you're watching this, or if you see this,
come on
stick around on Saturday. Go home after the game. We're Sunday, but for the Thanksgiving, got the whole week off, which is fantastic for those folks. And we want the community to come out too. We had a great crowd Saturday night. Stayed till the end because it was just one of those games, and we need that again because these guys deserve it. You guys deserve it. So let's get everybody out here, as many as we can. It'll be a good one. We'll keep you updated throughout the week, obviously, and then of course we'll be on the radio 12:50 with the pregame show. Check the website. It's a little bit different with Flow College during the season. The NCAA broadcast will be the broadcast, and it'll be streaming, and I think it'll be free.
Yeah, and I think it'll be on Huddle.
Yeah, on Huddle. So opportunity for everybody, Argo Nation, wherever you are, to watch the game. Coach, we're looking forward to it. We got hopefully 5 more.
That's right.
In the can. That'll wrap it up for this edition of the UWF Football Show, and we'll leave you with
Go Argos.